It's the first night of high school football in Minnesota. We've got a great one to kick off the 2017 season on CCX. Osseo and Maple Grove kick off our coverage for another year. From Maple Grove High School, John Jacobson along with Allie Arlton, Bill Hunstock. And Bill, welcome back to the sideline again. You and I worked together now 28 seasons. I think our first game was at Brooklyn Center High School. Here we are at Maple Grove, and what a great rivalry game we have to start.
Unbelievable. It's a great evening for football. It's a lovely afternoon. And we got a real rivalry going tonight. Inter-school district rivalry between Osseo and Maple Grove. The kids all know each other. They've grown up with each other and played sports and activities with each other all along. Now it's the time to be separate entities and go in different directions.
Osseo was in Class 5A last year. They've been in Class 6A the last few years, including obviously that state championship just 2 seasons ago. They dropped off last year. Ryan Stockhouse took over. They were 2-7. He feels a lot better about their program and their team coming into this season right now.
Yeah, we had a real good conversation with Coach Stockhouse, and he feels a lot better. He feels a lot more confident. The kids know him and the staff a lot better. They've had an entire year now together, so the level of play in terms of confidence with each other and how they execute things is going to be a lot stronger than it was last year. They felt like they did things really well, but they couldn't close things out. Tonight they'll find out if they can close them out.
Maple Grove coming off an 8-3 year. They lost in the state quarterfinals to Eden Prairie, who went on to finish as runner-up in 6A. Lost some very good players from last year, but some very solid players overall in this program. And then the way they've built under Matt Lombardi in these last 7 years, they should be a solid team regardless if you don't know every single player that's lining up on the first snap.
Exactly. They've got 14 players that did not start last year. But of those 14 players that weren't starters last year, quite a number of them played a lot. So when you're an 8-3 team, you get a lot of playing time, but being the first game starter is a whole new thing for some of these guys. 3 of the kids are playing different positions. They were starters last year, 2 of them on defense that are now playing offense. So they've got some things that are new for them this year. And like you said, with that many new people, the consistency and the chemistry of the team needs to work itself out. And whether they have had it in practice or not, we don't know. But that's going to be the challenge for Coach Lombardi and the staff tonight.
Always a fun one when the Orioles and Crimson meet. We will take a break and come back with the opening kickoff of tonight's game. Osseo Maple Grove football next on CCX.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Beautiful Thursday evening for high school football tonight. Osseo and Maple Grove. What's going on the sideline? And talk with our Allie Arlt.
Hey, thanks, John. You know, tonight is going to be the first real test of the season for these two teams as they finally face competitive play. And for Maple Grove, this is a team we're not used to seeing. Coach Lombardi before the game calling this crew his no-name team in comparison to the past few years of having those big-name players. Now, Coach said this team kind of feels like a fresh start, but that it's been fun. He says that where they lack depth coming into this season, he has a great core group of 17 starting seniors that he really likes, but he says tonight is going to be that first test for them, handling that pressure and spotlight under the Thursday night lights. Now for both teams, I asked them, what's the biggest adversity that your teams are going to face this season? And they both said they're tough schedules, with Lombardi saying he thinks they have the toughest schedule in the entire state. So this will be a really fun one, you guys, to kind of watch and see what transpires as it really sets the tone for the season.
All right, thanks very much, Allie. Bill, it's always exciting. First game of the year. Kids are amped up, the fans, the parents, the coaches, us as announcers, right? It doesn't get any better than this.
No, absolutely. And to have such a nice evening and I think a very competitive game. We were just talking about both these teams, and Allie mentioned it, both these teams are searching for what they're going to be for the season. They both have moved on from last season. Both teams are starting quite a number of kids who are seniors but weren't starters last year. So that's a real challenge for the coaching staff to bring all those kids together and make them a cohesive team and get the chemistry and everything else that they need to play the game. Well, I see we're at Cameron Indoor Arena here.
Dimitri Shubik to kick off here for Maple Grove. The Crimson in the black, crimson and gold. Osseo ready to receive the opening kickoff of the season. We're underway on CCX with the 2017 season. Ball dropped, picked back up at the 6-yard line, and a return out to the 12, and then fumbled and picked back up by Osseo. Oh, almost a turnover on the opening play of the season, but recovered by Tyler Seelock. See a little trouble right off the bat for Damon Lingeson. Gets hit here, lost the ball, and Seelock happened to be in a good spot for Osseo, and the Orioles take over inside their own 15, 1st and 10 from their 13-yard line.
A tough field position to start the game and start the season.
Greg Arell started some last year as a player for Osseo, now getting the job full-time here in 2017. Now the shotgun to start the season. The opening handoff to the left, trying to bounce outside of the 15, only a carry out to the 16 for a gain of 2, maybe 3 yards for Reggie Dupree. You look at the starters for Osseo. Second down and 8 coming for the Orioles. Now in the eye behind Arell, and wants to throw, but we're going to get a whistle and our first flag of the season. And Bill, this is one thing we often see early in the year.
Yeah.
First game action team. Yes, the teams had scrimmages a week ago, but you're going to get some penalties.
Yeah, we have a procedure penalty of some variety there against Osseo, which is going to set them back to about the 10-yard line. Just at the 10-yard line. And again, the not good field position that they had to start with is now 4 yards worse.
So second down 13 from the 10-yard line for the Orioles. Arell hands off to Dupree, going right side this time, and only gets a couple of yards out to the 12-yard line. Pickup of 2 on the play. Tackle made by Liam Arbeiter, senior defensive back. It'll be 3rd and long. Look at the Maple Grove starting defense. 3rd down, and still 11 to go for the Orioles. Opening series of the game.
In talking with Matt Lombardi, they're going to be using an 8-man front, a 3-5 look. This is very typical of what he's used in the past. And he really likes it.
Now the give to Dupree. It's time up the middle, and he stopped after a couple more yards. Tackled on the play by Ben Paschke along with Ben Bristol. And it's 4th down for Osseo and a 3-and-out on their opening possession.
I'll get into a little bit more of the defense that Matt's running here at Maple Grove. It's a really challenging defense to run the ball against.
Punt away for Joe Chia, handled at midfield, and a return down to the 41-yard line for Maple Grove's Liam Arbeiter. So great field position for Maple Grove to start the game.
Yeah, nicely fielded punt by Arbeiter, and pretty good run back. You don't have to get a great run back when you catch the ball inside the opponent's zone. So they've got the ball at the 41-yard line. 1st and 10 here at the right hash mark. Be interesting to see what they start with here.
Curtis Haugen, the starting quarterback. He'll hand off on 1st down. And a good run inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line goes Evan Hall. He's brought down at the 24, a gain of 17 for Hall.
Evan Hull does a nice job of following his offensive lineman and getting into the running zone. He's patient enough to let the block happen, and then when he hits the seam, he's going full speed. That was really, really well executed by Maple Grove.
This is Raymond, and he's hit after just a couple of yards, hit hard. Adam Landers, senior linebacker, came up and made the pop. So look at this Osseo starting defense for tonight. Gain of just 1 for Raymond, 2nd down and 9.
Now that play was a short trap play with the left guard trapping over the right guard's initial location. Pretty standard play from what we've seen from Maple Grove over the last several years. And Osseo played it very well. The linebacker stepped up and made a nice tackle.
And off to Hull. Got a seam inside. He's inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line and close to a 1st down. Anthony Williams on the stop for the Orioles. We marked just shy of the 1st down, 3rd and inches.
Once again, we see Hull does a good job of letting the blockers set themselves, get into position, and then accelerating into the running lane. Well executed again.
On 3rd down and short. And the handoff, and it's Raymond carrying the ball, and he's got a 1st down to the 11-yard line. Williams on the stop again on a gain of 4. As you look at Matt Lombardi now in his 7th year, his career record 50 and 16 in the first 6 years.
Pretty good record.
That's not bad. And great success as a defensive coordinator for Wayzata. Well, state championships there under Brad Anderson, who's now left coaching. Lambert Brown has taken over. He's making his head coaching debut for Wayzata tonight. They're at home against Rosemont. 1st down and 10 for Osseo and a whistle. And we're going to get a procedure penalty, it looks like, against Maple Grove.
Yes, somebody proceeded illegally, so both penalties we've seen so far have been procedure penalties. Not unusual at this time of year, but very frustrating to a coaching staff.
So 1st and 15 from the 16-yard line. Everything's been on the ground so far in this first series for Maple Grove. And they'll stay that way. Hand off to Holt. Got another big hole. He's inside the 5 and all the way down to the 3-yard line. Tyler Seelock on the stop, but look at the opening again. And a big run for Evan Hull.
You see that the right side guard is able to pull around and get a good lead block And Hall again does a really nice job of letting the blocks happen in front of him and then accelerating into the line of scrimmage, and the first guy that hits him is a linebacker or a D-back.
On 2nd down and 2, Hull going for the right side of the end zone. He's in. And Maple Grove is on the board. And his youth football night tonight, if you couldn't tell by those guys in the end zone, and the Crimson get an early 6 here on Osseo.
Well, that was a very well executed sequence by Maple Grove. As we begin to see here, this is an outside reach play, outside seam, and well blocked, and really puts a lot of pressure on the defensive flank.
Joe Raymond going 3 yards for the touchdown. Extra point is through. Look at the Raymond score again.
Yeah, once somebody sets the flank, that time the outside receiver did a really nice job of setting the flank, which means that he got a good block on the guy who's supposed to support the flank, and that allowed the running back to get out, Raymond to get out and around the corner and into the end zone.
And let's go, kickoff!
It's a short field for Maple Grove, set up by good field position there. Defense had put them in, right?
Yes.
The special teams initially keeping Osseo inside the 20. Orioles offense unable to move. And they only had to go 41 yards, Bill.
Exactly.
6 plays, 7 including the penalty. Back with the kick. This one taken at the 10-yard line. And Seelock's got some room up the middle, and he gets out past the 35-yard line. Much better starting position for the Orioles.
Yeah, Seelock does a good job of finding the seam and getting up into the running lane that's opened up for him by the blockers, and that gets out into good field position. Now instead of starting inside your own 15, you're out around the 38. That's a much better position to be in.
First down and 10, Orioles from their 37. Morrell under center. Play action, roll out right, throw, gets the completion down the sideline, 45, and a good run by Grace Nelson on the long run. All the way down into Maple Grove territory, a little foot pass. Nelson the catch at the 40, and look at the yardage after the catch.
Boy, and he really shows some nice acceleration. Yeah, Quinlan Nelson, 6'3", 190-pound wide receiver, good lanky kid. Good acceleration after he catches the pass and gets down the sideline in very good order.
That's a gain of 44 yards. And Osseo's first down there in scoring position now. After the ground game, and nothing there for the Orioles on first down and 10, maybe even lost half a yard.
Yeah, this defense that Maple Grove is using with 3 downs, we see Coach Stockhouse there. But the defense that Maple Grove is using with the 3 down linemen and 5 linebackers really gives them a lot of angles to work and a lot of different blitz combinations. Really puts a lot of pressure on the offensive line.
Second down and 11. Burrell pass and goes to the turf. That was a play that just didn't get going.
Well, a screen was set up pretty well, but defender got his hand on the ball.
And almost intercepted too.
Yeah, and that's what we see. if you watch that defense, you'll see different linebacker and lineman blitz combinations every single play. They don't do the same thing twice in a row very often.
So now 3rd down and 11 for the Orioles. Around looking toward the sideline. Blitz coming from the right side, handoff from down to the 16-yard line on the carry, and a gain of 5 will be Hitchcock. It'll be 4th down and still about 7 yards to go.
Yeah, they've got a pretty good. So they're going to kick a field goal here. First tough call of the season for Coach Stockhouse to see where we're going to go for it on 4th. 4th and long is a tough call.
On 4th down and 7, Arell kind of lofted up toward the end zone, incomplete, but there's a flag down. It looks like you'll see probably pass interference against Maple Grove here. Chia, the intended receiver for Osseo, with a flag on the Crimsons. Chia's trying to find some room for himself and had a good collision there with Jake Kamsaw. And I think Maple Grove feels like could have gone against Osseo. I don't think it's going to.
That's what
it is.
Yeah,
I see. They were right.
I'm surprised that the defender got an awfully good push here. And the receiver almost made a really nice one-handed catch. I'm really surprised that went against Osseo because the defender really was using his arms and hips well. So he said that was well defended because he didn't get the PI. So a couple of really nice plays by Osseo produced nothing, and Maple Grove has the ball 2nd time.
I'll get a handoff. And up to the 20-yard line, it'll be a pickup of 4 yards on 1st down. And the carry by Raymond. Raymond's had 4 carries. This is Hull. Hull's had 4 carries. Raymond's had 3 so far.
Yeah, I think we'll see Raymond and Hull in and out together a lot tonight, particularly early on here, John. Coach Lombardi said they were going to be doing running back by committee, and he's not lying.
Second down and 6. That's down only a gain out to the 21-yard line for Raymond.
Yeah, little delay counter there by the Crimson that was well played, well defended by the Orioles, and stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Third down and 5. It's a single back, receivers to either side. Haugen to throw for the first time tonight. The receiver went down and the pass incomplete. Kamsala, the intended receiver, defended over there by Grant Tyus. He had a receiver, but then he went down.
There's no sicker feeling for a quarterback or an offense when you throw into an open receiver and all of a sudden he's on the ground and you can't reel the ball back in and do something else with it.
Andy Peterson to punt here for Maple Grove. Good kick, and takes a Maple Grove bounce as well. And it'll be Osseo football, but back at their 28-yard line. A flag comes in as well.
Yeah, one of the Osseo players ended up being sprawled on his face. He may have gotten hit from behind by a Maple Grove player, which would bring the ball 15 yards back up the other direction. That's going to be a personal foul against Maple Grove. So the ball's going to go from being inside the 30 to outside the 40. So fortuitous situation there for Osseo. You can see The Osseo player getting pretty well run over. Only took a 10-yard mission. There you go.
So they got the yardage fixed now. It's out to the 42-yard line. They had initially marked it just 10 yards. So first down and 10 from the 42, and swallowed up in the backfield was Dupree almost immediately.
Yeah, this
tackle made, by Arbeiter.
And you can see that two defenders are right there. And again, the blitz combinations that Maple Grove is going to throw at Osseo tonight are going to be myriad. And a lot of times if they hit the seam right, they're going to be in the backfield right when the ball is getting to the quarterback. It's going to be very tough for Osseo to figure some of these things out. Everybody's going to be very disciplined.
There's Justin Stolp on the tackle for loss, along with Ben Bristol. Loss of 4 yards. Dupree will get the call again. He'll get it to the 40-yard line and get a couple, 3 of those yards lost on first down back. Still third down and long. Close to 11 yards to go for Osseo.
Osseo's kind of offensively kind of shooting themselves in the foot a little bit with some not good plays and a little bit porous line play, but I think part of that has to do with the fact that Maple Grove is sending people all over the place, and it's hard to figure out.
On third down is a whistle.
Going to be a delay of game.
Second penalty for 10 yards on the Orioles. So third and 16 for Osseo at their 36. Burrell has some time to throw, lofts it out right side, down the sideline and incomplete. The intended receiver was Elijah Whitner, but pretty well covered. And it'll be fourth down for the Crimson.
Yes, that running stride for stride is number 3, Kempsula.
Fourth down for Osseo. Second punt for Chia. Low snap, and it's blocked. And Maple Grove will get it deep in Osseo territory. Jake Hansen, the senior linebacker, gets in and gets the block. Let's go down to the sideline. Allie Arlt has a special guest.
Hey, John, I'm down here with one of those big-name players that I was referring to earlier, a guy we're so used to seeing on the field, Brad Davison, former quarterback for the Crimson. Brad, how surreal is this? I mean, this is your first game in over almost 4 years that you haven't suited up for this team.
It's definitely different, but it feels great to be back. A lot of memories on this field, a lot of great teammates, a lot of great coaches. It's just good to be back and seeing some young guys go out there and do what they do.
When you think back about your career here at Maple Grove, what are some things that stood out to you?
I think just the relationships I got through it all, just the memories, maybe not so much the wins and losses, but kind of in the weight room, in the locker room, the pregame speeches. The game of football always been in my heart, so I just love being back out here and seeing the guys go out there.
You always left your heart out on this field, but now you're heading to a court over at Wisconsin, University of Wisconsin. You just got back from a trip overseas to New Zealand and Australia. What was that experience like with the team?
it was an incredible experience. Definitely a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to go overseas to Australia and New Zealand. And I think it was just a really great experience to be able to hang out with our coaches and our teammates kind of outside the campus element and just get to know them better, especially for a young team we're going to have. It was a great experience for us young guys.
Brad, on the sidelines right now, I see you continually coaching the guys out there. This football vibe with you just never really leaves you, does it?
No, it never will. It's emotional to be on the sidelines. I really want to go out there, throw some pads on, but moved on. But it's always good to come back, and Maple Grove football always be a part of who I am, and I'm very proud of it.
You're about to be a big man on campus at University of Wisconsin, but people here love seeing you back here.
Thank you very much. I enjoy being back.
Thanks for your time, Brad.
You're welcome.
All right, thanks very much. Good to see Brad Davison again. It is a little different not to see him in a crimson uniform. We'll get the same thing when basketball season comes. Well,
exactly.
This Osseo defense has come up with 2 stops on 1st and 2nd down. Negative plays, and it's 3rd and 13 now for the Crimson after the turnover on the block punt.
Oh,
Haugen rolling out, man wide open. Broken tackle at the 14, still on his feet down to the 9-yard line goes Ben Schroeder, senior tight end. It won't get a first down. Got a pretty positive gain there, Bill, about 8 yards,
Yep.
but they'll still be shy of the
7,
first
8
down.
yards. We've got 2 flags on the field. Came in at the end of the play. I'm not sure where we're going to have a face mask. It's going to be an automatic first down. So Osseo makes 2 really great plays on defense, and then gives up a pass and a face mask penalty to give a first down for Maple Grove. Yep, and you can see a white gloved hand right on the face mask of the receiver.
It's the end of the first quarter. Our score after 1, Maple Grove 7, Osseo nothing. We're back with more high school football on CCX after this timeout.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
John Jacobson, Bill Hunstock, Allie Arl back at Maple Grove High School. Beginning of the second quarter, Maple Grove leading 7-0, but on the doorstep again, a first down and goal from the 5 after the 3rd down completion and penalty that ensued on the play. Let's line up at the left hash mark. First TD on a run by Joe Raymond. We'll see what they dial up here. Haugen will give. Raymond gets down inside the 2-yard line to close to the 1. That'll be a pickup of 4 and 2nd and goal from there. Evan Hull will line up behind the fullback Justin Stolp. Haugen under center. Stolp gets the carry and he gets the touchdown. Justin Stolp, the senior, fullback and linebacker, gets the call on the goal line and puts it in for 6.
Well executed play, straight ahead dive, right up the middle of the formation, into the end zone. Stolp does a nice job, gets his shoulders out over his toes and jams the ball right into the end zone.
On a play where maybe Osseo was expecting that Hull would get the ball, and they get it to Stolp, and he's in.
And Hull ran the same route that he ran on the first touchdown, only he handed off to the fullback. So Good play calling by Maple Grove. Good heads-up play to block that punt, and Osseo now down by 2 scores. If they can just get themselves into a position and just relax and play, they'll probably be all right. They seem to be a little uptight. They seem to be. They've made a couple of mistakes that Maple Grove has really taken advantage of, and they need to eliminate that kind of mistake. The face mask, the block punt, those kind of things just kill you.
Andy Peterson added his second extra point. And so we sit at 14-0 here very early in the second quarter. Onside kick. Osseo ready for it, and they make the recovery. I like the aggressiveness, though. Your defense playing pretty well. You got momentum already.
Osseo does a nice job. The guys do a nice job of staying composed and fielding the ball, and Osseo gets good field position outside and get it at their own 47-yard line. They need to take advantage of this.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Tom Opatz, Derek Hayden on the play there, respectively, 8 and 13. So Osseo does get in great field position, Bill. Yes, at the 47, and Maple Grove jumps outside, it looked like.
Absolutely,
yes.
Yeah. And that's one of the things I was going to mention, that Osseo needs to, with this kind of a defense, with the variety of stunts and as quick as the defense wants to move, changing your snap count makes it harder for them to time up their blitzes.
It was a 1st and 5 and a run here to the 47-yard line. Does not gain a lot, Bill. Has not been easy running for Osseo in the early going here. That one maybe got a yard.
Yeah, Arell ran the option keep there after faking to the fullback up the middle and just didn't have much room.
Second down and 4 to go. They may be offside again. Crimson a little jumpy on the defensive line in this series, and this is going to give the Orioles their second first down of the game.
Exactly, and again, the changing of the snap count, using a hard first. You know, once the defense gets used to hearing a certain sound, they're moving on sound as much as they are on the side of the ball, and when you change that sound, they react. And all it takes is just a reaction into the neutral zone, and it's a penalty. That's a good job by Osseo changing the snap count.
10:37 on the clock. 10:37 on the clock.
The clock adjustment here. They're going to reset the game clock to 10:37. Fresh set of downs from the 42 of Osseo. That was well read and well defensed by the Orioles defense. Rajay Hitchcock had nowhere to go. Jake Hansen right there to meet him with help from Justin Stolp. No gain.
No gain. That was really well defended. Again, the linebacker stepping right into the seam where the running back is, and it's a tough one-on-one situation.
Play action, some pressure on Arell. He had to get rid of it, I think, a little sooner than he wanted to.
Yeah.
He threw it short to Nelson, and it's third down.
Very good pressure off the flank by Adam Skogman. You can see he comes right off the flank there and puts a lot of pressure on Greg Arell. He's not able to get anything on the football. So now we have third and quite long for Osseo, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10.
Burrell back up under center on 3rd down. Short drop, throws to his right, gets the completion. It's Chia on the catch. Down to the 33-yard line. He'll be close to a 1st down, but a yard shy to bring up 4th and 1. A gain of 9, though.
A nice pass by Arell to Chia. Almost got the 1st down. Needed one more stride, but was just pushed out of bounds before he could get there. But a well-executed pass play. It's a nice throw into the flat. Puts pressure on the secondary that way.
4th and 1, movement again. This time might have been Osseo. Sure looked like it. Crucial penalty against the Orioles.
Yep.
Now instead of 4th and 1, it's 4th and 6.
And that's their second critical procedure penalty that's hurt them.
Line of scrimmage, the 38 of Maple Grove.
This is one of the toughest places on the field to decide what to do on 4th down. You don't want to punt it, because if you punt it in the end zone, you're only gaining a few yards. But if you go for it and you don't make it, you're giving your opponent pretty good field position.
4th and 6. Arell looking left, throws, and incomplete. Missed on the pass, trying to get it to Devontae Hill, and Maple Grove holds, takes over.
That would have been, even if that had been completed, it would have been really tough to get to the 1st down, make it to the line to gain. So Maple Grove comes up with a couple of very nice defensive plays and gets themselves back in pretty good field position, the 38-yard line.
Haugen back at quarterback. He's a converted defensive back. He was an all-conference D-back last year. They needed him to play quarterback this year, and they've been really happy with his work in the summer and leading up to this opener, and how he's handled the transition and getting back to playing quarterback.
Exactly. He hasn't played quarterback since he was a sophomore, and like you said, as a junior last year, he was not only one of the better defensive backs on this team, but one of the better defensive backs around. And to have to make a position change in your senior year after you've had the kind of success he had as a junior, that's a tough call.
Procedure penalty set Maple Grove back 5 yards. So on 1st down and 15, hand off to the right. Not a lot of room. Evan Hull couldn't quite turn the corner. He's gained some positive yards and gets it back to close to the yardage lost on the penalty. We'll give him 4, and it'll make it 2nd down and 11 on the 7th carry of the 1st half for Evan Hull, junior running back.
He's had a couple of real nice carries.
Yeah. Those first 3 carries tonight, 17, 8, and 13 yards.
Right.
Haugen, play action. Pretty deep drop, pretty deep throw as well down the middle. Almost caught at the 25, but it goes incomplete. Boy, a great effort to try to make the catch, but it falls incomplete.
We'll see here a great stretch by the receiver. Almost has it in his hands, but when he hits the floor, the ball bounces free.
Homie Abbott, the intended receiver. Yeah, it was well defended. So it's 3rd down. Nice pass by Haugen, through about the only place that it could be caught and not defended by the Orioles. Timeout, Maple Grove.
Maple Grove, their first.
Well, as we come into the season openers tonight and some tomorrow night, but most teams playing tonight, here's a look at the top 10 in the Metro. Start review in preseason. Eden Prairie, #1. They were state runner-up last year. Lakeville North, 2. Totino Grace, last year's state champion, ranked 3. Creighton and Totino playing tonight over at the University of St. Thomas.
Yeah, that's an interesting matchup there. The 3 and 4 teams playing each other.
Playing Maple Grove, Edina under new head coach Darren Lamker, rated #7. And Minnetonka Rosemont, as I mentioned earlier, at Wayzata tonight in Prior Lake, ranked #10.
Prior Lake's put together, they've started to string together a couple of pretty good seasons.
Third down and 11. Haugen looks left to throw. His ball is tipped, almost intercepted. It's incomplete. Richard Moba on the breakup for Osseo. It'll be 4th down, and Osseo will get the ball back.
And Moba does a nice job of getting in the right position, getting his hands up. Just needs to put the grabbers on her a little bit. That would have been a huge turnover right there.
Peterson standing back at his 23 of his second punt of the game here. This one will bounce at the 35 of Osseo, and that's where it'll be down. Tanner Skansen downing it for Maple Grove.
And really not a great kick by Maple Grove that time, low. And when it bounced back in favor of Osseo. So Osseo, who doesn't get terrible field position at the 36-yard line, and they've got about 8 minutes and 43 seconds. They need to string together some first downs and get some confidence in their offense here.
Punt of 27 yards, so 1st down and 10 for the Orioles. And then a run out to the 40-yard line, 41. Pickup of about 5 yards, Bill, on 1st down.
Yep.
Look at it again.
Pretty well done here. A little bit of a jet sweep that does a good job of getting into the secondary. Gain of about 4 or 5. Maybe 2nd and 6. The 40-yard line.
Burrell throws, completes to Chia, but a short gain. Jake Kamsela was there defensively to make the tackle.
And Kamsela does a nice job of making a firm tackle here. If he doesn't make that one-on-one tackle, Chia gets free and might get 3 or 4 more yards on that.
Gain of 2 to bring up 3rd down and 4.
And Osseo's got some pretty good sized receivers out there. Chia at 6'4", 230. He's tight end size for a lot of high schools.
Burrell roll out left. Throw that way, completion and a 1st down. Out to midfield. Grant Tardif
nice catch
makes the catch.
Yeah, nice catch by Grant Tardif. Another 6'3" receiver. Tardif making a nice grab. Really nicely executed rollout pass here. Right into the flat, gain the yards, get past the line to get a 1st down. That's really what Osseo needed to do here, is establish something that they can run and have some consistency with.
Maple Grove will use its 2nd timeout. Look at Osseo's district opponents. Again, they moved from 6A to 5A. Doesn't affect the regular season, but all the districts got shifted a little bit this year. So it's a different opponents from last year to this year for Osseo, including St. Michael Albertville, who comes into their district this year. Cook Rapids drops out.
Right. They'll have their hands full with Totino Grace.
We'll see Osseo Champlin Park coming up in a few weeks. Or Champlin Park. There'll be a team to watch this year as well. Chamberlain Park lost some very good seniors last year, Bill, but some good high-end skill position and linemen back for this 2017 Rebels team. First down and 10. Out of the timeout, Osseo gain of just a couple of yards down to the 48, maybe the 47-yard line. On first down and 10 on the handoff to Dupree.
Yeah, Reggie Dupree looked like he was going to have a pretty good seam to move into, and as he did, it closed down. The linebacker stepped in and made a really nice play to limit it to about a 3-yard gain.
Harrell throws left, gets the completion, and Tardif's got another first down for Osseo down to the 39-yard line. Maybe a pickup of 8.
So now we've had 3 passes in a row that Harrell has done a nice job of getting the ball right on the money, good timing, and Tardif gets the ball past the line to gain for another first down.
And off to Dupree, trying to slide left, and does get down to the 35-yard line, to the 34 before Liam Arbeiter wrestled them out of bounds.
We got a chance to see a little bit of Reggie Dupree's speed there. He does a pretty good job of getting around the corner. And again, the flank was set pretty well by the offensive line and the receiver, allowing Dupree to get around the corner.
Gain of 5. Timeout on the field. May have another clock issue here.
Could be.
Set it 5 more seconds back to 6:11 to go here in the second quarter. Second down and 5 for Osseo from the Maple Grove 34. And off to Hitchcock. He's got a first down. Best run of the night for Osseo. And strong legs keep moving all the way down to the 22-yard line. He did not give up on that run and picks up 13 yards.
Yep. Hitchcock, a nice compact 5'10", 190 pounds. Really delivers a blow on that initial hit. It gets about 6-7 yards after the initial pop. So good leg drive by him on that. That was very well done.
First and 10 from the 22 for the Orioles. Trying to get their first points of the season. Harrell going toward the end zone to Chia, and overthrown and incomplete. Coverage by Campsela. It'll be second and 10.
And Chia just modified his route. He adjusted to the defensive back and just couldn't get back upfield enough. He let the back go deep to the outside, tried to get around him to the inside, just couldn't get back upfield enough to make a play on the ball.
Second and 10. Past the halfway mark here of the second quarter. And then showing some blitz. Handoff. Dupree breaks one tackle in the backfield, but he'll still not get back to the line of scrimmage. Alex Steinberg, senior, comes up and makes the tackle.
Against this defense, if you watch how the defense plays, they really like to do what they call spill the running back out to the outside and pursue him. And if the flank is set by the defense rather than the offense, then it makes it very tough to run outside. The best way to run against this defense and this style of defense is to go right at it and break the ball upfield. It's very hard to run parallel to the line of scrimmage against this defense.
On 3rd and 11, Harrell steps up, but overshot his intended receiver, Tardif, and it's now 4th down.
Yeah, he threw that ball high because he was getting hit from the back, and the ball just sailed on him. Didn't really have much control of that. He had to let it go a stride earlier. You can see right there he gets accelerated from behind, and the ball just takes off on him. So we have another 4th and 11. Another tough call for
Maple Grove will use the timeout here.
And that'll be their last timeout. I don't know, John, you got the ball at the 23-yard line here.
Look at Maple Grove's district. Last year was the West Metro West. Now it's just the Metro West. And they had some teams drop out. Hopkins, for one, who's played a tough regular season schedule for years. They moved down to a district where they got a chance to win some more games, I think, during the regular season. So now the Metro West opponents, Eden Prairie, Edina, Minnetonka, and Wayzata for Maple Grove.
That's a very tough.
Those aren't four easy teams to play in addition to their other 4 opponents.
Those teams will beat each other up pretty good too, I think.
Third and 11, so let's see what Coach Stockhouse's staff comes up with here. Had the ball down in this part of the field a couple of times, Bill. Close to or one time in the red zone, have not been able to convert yet. Harrell, a roll out left. Has time, throws deep toward the end zone. It's going to be out of play. Incomplete. Haugen was there defensively. He was out of the end zone. Chia was the closest Osseo player to it, but it was incomplete. Had time to throw, Bill, but just didn't.
He had time to throw and really didn't have anybody open. He had to let it go and really didn't. I think that one, you hate to throw it away on 4th down, but you really don't want to get sacked either. He was getting some pressure right when he let it go. Another tough possession for Osseo. They did some things very, very well offensively, and just couldn't get that next play completed to make the next move.
Haugen on 1st down, hand off to Hull, and he is tackled. And a good defensive play on the wrap-up by Caleb Yagoda, one of the captains for Osseo football this year. And not much doing for Evan Hull here.
No, he does a nice job of trying to break one tackle in the backfield, but the 2nd and 3rd guys are able to get him for a very short gain. About 2 yards will be at 2nd and 8. 4:20 left in the half, so there's plenty of time to move the ball. But with no timeouts, Maple Grove has to be expeditious with it.
And off to Hull again. To the 30-yard line and out to the 33. Tackle made by Deontay Miller. Help, and it'll bring up 3rd and short for the Crimson. The Osseo player injured right in front of their sideline. And it looks like it's Miller who made the tackle. And also limping on the Osseo side, Trent Tater, the starting offensive lineman, but he's going to stay in the game here. Curtin very short after Hull gained 8+ yards there.
Yeah, Hull does a nice job. And one of the things I've noticed about Maple Grove running backs, traditionally, as long as I can remember, are hard to tackle one-on-one. And Hull's proving to be the same kind of guy. There was a guy making the tackle on him right past the line of scrimmage, and he ran right through the tackle and was able to get the ball enough to the line to gain for a Maple Grove 1st down. So it's 1st and 10 now at the 33-yard line.
First and 10 for Maple Grove. Under 4 minutes to play, 2nd quarter. Ball is dropped, and Raymond, the tailback, luckily it was there for Maple Grove to cover up on it. I don't know if Haugen caught it on his own hip or one of his linemen, but lost the ball.
Yeah.
But Raymond makes the recovery. It'll be a loss on the play of 3 yards.
Yeah, that was just a mishandled snap, or Haugen turning before he had the ball, or and leaving the ball where it was, but a little bit of a break for Osseo there, loss of about 3.
Second down and 13. Haugen, quick step and throw, gets the completion out to Abbott, and he only gets to the 35 for a pickup of about 4 yards before he's brought down by Lanners.
Now this is a nice quick little bubble screen to the outside receiver. They're hoping he can catch the ball and run. Well defended by Osseo to only give up about 4 or 5 yards. Nice tackle in the open field by number 7, Adam Lanners.
Third down and 8 to go. Down to 2:20 to play in the half. Now we're going to give it to Raymond, who's hit in the backfield, and there'll be a loss in the play. Osseo will take a timeout.
That's a good timeout for Osseo. You're forcing the punt. Don't let any extra time go off the clock. You've got a good chance of getting the ball in decent field position here.
Look at it again. It's you saw Yagoda break through there, and had help as well from Eric Lundstrom to be able to make the tackle.
Caleb Yagoda making a really nice play coming down the line of scrimmage to make that play.
So Peterson will punt. Osseo still will have 2 timeouts remaining when they get the football back here.
You know, if they can get any kind of field position, they'll have an opportunity to score.
Peterson with a high kick away. Handled back inside the 30 and tackled back at the 23. And great special teams tackle. Jake Kamslow's been all over the field. Able to make the tackle. And a loss for Elijah Whitner on the return.
Yeah, Whitner unintentionally actually just turned the wrong direction. If he'd have turned the other direction after he caught it, he might be running a little bit, but that was a great play by Kamsala to make an open field one-on-one tackle on a punt return like that.
So Osseo not quite the field position they had hoped for, and Dupree does not get anything really to speak of here on first down. I think Osseo perhaps at this point won't take any chances. Maple Grove's out of timeout, so they can't stop the clock. You know, if they get break a big tackle, then maybe you change your strategy a little bit, but I think they'll play it pretty close to the vest here.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way to play it.
Morrell, quick throw to the left, completion, but a loss on the play. Well defended by the Crimson on the catch by Nelson with that big gainer early in the first quarter. But not much going this time. The Crimson were all over that play.
Right. The linebackers and the defensive backs have really now for Maple Grove starting to tighten up. They've tightened up their alignment and they're tightened up their coverage both in zone and man coverage. They're really not giving much room for Osseo to throw the ball. Osseo has to stretch the field. They have to stretch it wide like they did a few times with those passes into the flat, but they have to stretch the ball deep like they did in the first quarter and make Maple Grove defend the entire field.
Now Osseo will use a timeout. And officially gave Nelson a yard on that catch, so it's 3rd down and 10. And that clock stopping with just over 30 seconds to play here. More prep football coming up In the coming weeks on CCX, it's just the first of 9 regular season games, coming 2 this week. Jay Wilcox will be with Allie and Bill tomorrow night as Breck takes on Columbia Heights, a Twin City Red District game between the Mustangs and the Highlanders.
Looking forward to that. I haven't seen Columbia Heights in quite a number of years. Probably not since they coached against them when I was at Minnehaha. So, yeah, that should be an interesting game.
3rd down and 10 with 30 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Arell up under center. And Maple Grove makes the stop. And again, nothing fancy for Osseo. They weren't going to take any chances there. Ben Paschke was there to read it and make the stop. Great defensive play.
They're going to have to do something. I don't think they can't. Well, they can probably, yeah, they should be able to let the clock just run out now. So
yeah, it was 38 seconds before they snapped it.
So they'll run the clock out and go into the halftime here.
So Maple Grove gets an early touchdown on their opening drive. They get a block punt late in the first quarter that sets up an early second quarter touchdown. And it gives the Crimson a 14-0 lead here at halftime on their District 279 rivals from Osseo. Maple Grove a good start to their first half, Bill.
Yeah, they really played pretty well in all aspects of the game. Their offense was good, not great, but their offense was fairly consistent. They've had a couple of nice plays. Their defense played very well. Had a nice play to set up their second touchdown off of the blocked punt. So they did some things very well. Osseo, on the other hand, they weren't able to capitalize as well on the things that they did do well.
Let's go down to the sideline now. Allie Arlt standing by.
All right, Coach, you got your first 2 quarters of the season under the belt. Probably not your favorite first half that you've seen. What's your assessment so far?
You know, I think we just need to stick to the course a little bit, stop hurting ourselves. I think the penalties are kind of putting us back. We start to get a little momentum going, and then we take it away from ourselves. So we put them in pretty good position with field position, you know, dropping the fumble early on the kickoff, not getting a return, then going backwards on that. So we've given them short field. I feel like if we make them drive the field, we'll be all right. But we just got to stay the course and kind of believe in what we can do.
What about producing a little more offense on your end? What do you guys want to do in the second to get some scores on the board?
We want to make sure we spread them out and make them have to defend the entire field. And if they're going to keep bringing all the pressure, we got to figure out a way to take advantage of it. So we got a couple adjustments for halftime that we're going to go in there, talk with the guys up. But like I said, if they're going to keep bringing that pressure, we got to make sure we can dump the ball and we can run a little bit.
Thanks for your time, Coach.
No problem. Thank you.
Ryan Stockhouse and Allie Arlt. Thanks for Coach Stockhouse for taking a few minutes. We'll hear from Coach Lombardi before the start of the second half. Youth football night here at Maple Grove. We'll hear about that and more as our coverage of Osseo Maple Grove football continues on CCX Sports after this timeout.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Welcome back to CCX coverage of Osseo Maple Grove High School football on this Friday night. Joined by Scott Fritz. He is the president of the Maple Grove Youth Football Association. Scott, it's youth football night here tonight for the season opener. And tell us what this event means to your youth football association.
Yeah, well, for youth football, when Matt Lombardi got here quite a few years ago, he really wanted to form a Crimson family. And this, to me, is really kind of the epicenter of all that. So for the first home game every season, the youth program, about 420 kids will come out, form a tunnel to welcome the varsity team onto the field. A lot of these guys now that are playing varsity started in the youth program, have built up through that family to be playing at this level. So it creates that continuity throughout the program.
How fun are nights like this? I know Osseo had their football jamboree last Friday. Tonight it's for Maple Grove kids, and a lot of associations do that. But how important is it for the youth to come out and watch some of these high school guys play?
Oh, it's great. I mean, these guys are their heroes. We'll see it actually at the beginning of the game. After they come out and right before varsity hits the field, Brad Davidson, who's kind of a local hero right now, is going to read a little bit of a story about a group of 7th or 8th graders that we have that when the program was founded 7 years ago were second graders. And they have played every year from 2nd grade through 8th grade. So we're kind of deeming them our Crimson Iron Man. And Brad's kind of a hero to them. They're looking up to these guys and looking in 3-4 years when they're going to be playing on the same field. So they think it's awesome. They're super excited about it.
Tell me about your numbers and the grades that are involved in Maple Grove youth football.
Yeah, so we've been holding our numbers pretty solid. We're a 2nd grade flag, 3rd through 8th grade tackle. We play as a part of LMAA, which is the Lake Minnetonka Athletic Association. So kind of the great thing about it, as opposed to some club sports, is our Crimson players never have to play other Crimson players, which builds into that Crimson family. We don't build rivalries internally at a young age. We go play Wayzata, Minnetonka, Edina joined the league this year, Orono. So we go out and play other cities. So kind of like these guys do it at a higher level. As they progress through those ages, they go from kind of higher levels of football. They start with 9-man. We don't blitz in the organization. So we do a lot of different things from a rules standpoint to make the game a lot safer for them. And also, it's a pretty complex game, so it starts to give it to them a piece at a time starting in 3rd grade, so we don't overwhelm them early on.
There's a lot of talk in football, especially at the National Football League level, about concussions, but obviously parents get concerned when they hear that, and they're worried about their kid perhaps being involved in that. But I know that's something that a lot of young coaches or youth football coaches stress on the right way to tackle, right, to minimize the danger to the head.
Yeah, across the board. I mean, safety is a huge concern for us with Maple Grove. All of our coaches go through a Trusted Coaches program, which is really a multi-tiered program from background checks, concussion trainings, diagnosing, treating it on the sidelines. They go through Positive Coaching Alliance, which is really, it's about dual goal coaching. So it's not just about winning, it's also about how to build up the athlete's confidence and get them ready. And then they're all USA Football certified. So one of the things the NFL started funding quite a few years ago with the concussion concern was the right way to play football. And it turns out that if you play football the right way, it's also a lot safer. So you combine that. Last year, combined in the program, we only had 4 concussions throughout the program. I've been coaching my son's team since 3rd grade, and I can tell you that we've had more kids lose time in my teams with concussions in the 10-week season suffered outside of the football program than within the football program. So we take it very seriously. USA Football teaches them how the right tackling techniques, how to play the game correctly, as well as safely, without taking away the intensity, which is great. It's a lot of the same techniques that Matt, who's a pretty solid defensive coach, has been teaching his guys for a really long time. As well as at every practice, every game, we have EMTs available. So it takes some of the pressure off the coach. If they have any concern or doubt that a player may be injured or is showing any symptoms whatsoever, they can send him to the EMT and get diagnosed. We have a very simple phrase. It's when in doubt, send them out. So we keep them out, get them evaluated. If they get diagnosed with a concussion, they have to go through a return to play protocol, which is dictated by USA Football. So they have to get cleared by a doctor, get a doctor's note. They go through a 5-step process of increasing intensity level throughout practice before they're ever allowed to take contact again. Once they clear that protocol, then they're allowed to come back and play with us.
A lot of safety measures in play.
Absolutely. I would say the transparency that the NFL has brought has made football self-reflect, and I think it's been great for the game because it has made it a lot safer, and it's taken a lot of pressure off coaches. I mean, our coaches are kind of the key to it, and they're all volunteers and dads like a lot of us. So taking that pressure away from them is really big for the program to allow them to coach football, which is what they love to do.
Scott, thanks for your time. Good luck with the rest of youth football night here tonight.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Scott Fritz, president of the Maple Grove Youth Football Association. We will take a break, come back with more coverage of Maple Grove Osseo football live on CCX after this.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Welcome back. The Maple Grove Band out here tonight and entertaining the fans at halftime. Dance team was out earlier, and a cool night for late August, Bill, but a beautiful night for football. As you look at highlights from the first half of Osseo Maple Grove here on August 31st, and Osseo gave up a short field to Maple Grove. They took it over on the 41-yard line and were able to move down the field, had some good runs. Evan Hull there on the run, and the touchdown comes from Joe Raymond from 3 yards out, and the Crimson are on the board less than 5 minutes into the game. Extra point made by Andy Peterson. It was 7-0. And then a block punt here. Jake Hansen gets clear and sets up Maple Grove inside the 15-yard line of Osseo. And from there, they switched ends of the field. Justin Stolt, the fullback, gets a 1-yard touchdown run. Peterson another extra point. Maple Grove led 14-0 with 11:19 to go in the second quarter. Osseo moved the ball at times. They were able to get some first downs, but never able to punch the ball into the end zone. First down grab there from by Joe Chia, then the best running play of the night. 13 yards coming from Samanje Hitchcock there that gave Osseo a first down, but again, unable to punch the ball into the end zone. 105 total yards for Maple Grove, or for Osseo rather, and 77 for Maple Grove. First downs about even. No turnovers so far. Penalties 3 for 15 yards against Osseo, and the Crimson have picked up 5 penalties for 35 yards. It is 14-0. The Crimson lead the Orioles. More prep football on CCX from Maple Grove High School after this timeout.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands?
My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah.
That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
14-0 Maple Grove leads Osseo as we get ready for the start of the second half. We'll go back to the sideline. Allie Arlt standing by with Coach Matt Lombardi.
Thanks, John. Coach, a pair of rushing touchdowns in the first. Not the worst way to start your first couple quarters of the season.
No, I thought we did some good things in the first half. I was a little disappointed when we were up 14-0. I didn't think we had that bury and blood in the water feel that I think you need. But it was a good first half. It's first game, a lot of jitters, and so they're battling through.
I have to ask, after that second rushing touchdown in the second quarter after 4th and 1, you guys go for the onside kick. You're feeling aggressive right out the gate.
Yeah, it was kind of an onside. He kind of busted the play, but it was an aggressive play. We were trying to squib it, and he kind of hit the front. He wasn't supposed to, but still, yeah, I want the kids to know, hey, when it's 14-0, you get it to 3 scores, and that team's in a lot of hurt at that point. So I want them to get used to the attitude of when you get a lead.
What'd you tell the guys that you want to see out of them in the second?
What I just told you, play with attitude. I think I was proud of, we fought. I mean, it's tough. Conditioning's always tough in the first game, but there were situationally things I thought we could have done a better job at, and that's where learning comes in.
All right, Coach, we'll see it out there.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks, Allie, and thanks to Coach Lombardi for taking some time with us. We get ready to start half number 2 with the Crimson up 14-0. So Osseo moves the football okay, Bill. Only 105 yards of offense, not great, more than Maple Grove had.
Exactly.
But unable to convert on any plays, any big plays, 4th down plays when they were down in or near the red zone that could get them on the scoreboard here.
Exactly, and Maple Grove got a couple of really good defensive plays that set up both of their touchdowns, and that's really what they capitalized on. And Osseo just hasn't been able to get they've made some very solid defensive plays. They haven't crumbled. They haven't done anything poorly. They just haven't made the breaks that they need to have to get the ball into the end zone.
One thing I want to note, in a couple of weeks, take that back, next Friday night, Osseo's got their home opener in prep football, and they will also have their Hall of Fame induction that year. They've had several Hall of Fames over the last dozen years or so, starting when Adam Holm was athletic director. Bill Kwan is over there now, and they've got an impressive class that's going to be honored next week at halftime of the Osseo White Bear Lake football game. That's next Friday night, Hall of Fame night at Osseo High School. And talk about a school with tradition. I mean, that goes way back into the early 20th century. I mean, they're Athletic Hall of Fame, and some players going back to the 50s that'll be in this class that'll be inducted next Friday night and honored and recognized at the Osseo football game. So big night there at Carlton Field, John Hanson Field at Carlton Stadium. Yeah. I was getting that confused. John Hanson Stadium at Carlton Field. My goodness, there I got it right.
There you go.
John Hanson was one of the initial inductees on their first Hall of Fame, and
John,
what a great coach
quite
he was.
Coach, really nice guy.
Yes,
really helped me a lot when I was coaching at Augsburg. Great guy to visit with and share ideas with, and that athletic history at Maple Grove goes back.
Osseo.
Or at Osseo, excuse me, goes way back, as far as I know, back into the early part of the 20th century. And recently they've had quite success in a wide variety of sports, and they've been very good in not only football, but in basketball, girls basketball. They've had some really outstanding players in that program as well.
Coach Stockhouse trying to get the Orioles fired up as we get ready for the second half kickoff. Arbeiter and Kansela will be back deep to receive this kick for Maple Grove. Joe Chia to kick it off for Osseo in their first kickoff. Coach Lombardi talked with Allie about trying to get a team down 3 scores. He wasn't able to do that in the first half, but an opportunity here perhaps on this first drive come out and reestablish control of the game that had gotten There's real no momentum either way by the end of that second quarter.
Yeah, they really need to establish themselves offensively, and they really didn't do that much in the first half.
He'll keep it on the ground. This kick will be handled at the 22-yard line and return to about the 29 before Osseo covers up. So Osseo will keep Maple Grove inside their 30-yard line. Keep Maple Grove at the 29-yard line.
Not a bad.
Gavin Pelto on the return.
And not a bad way to start the half. Don't give your opponents an opportunity to make a big play. Nothing more emotional than a big kicking team play.
So Hagen back under center. Didn't throw the ball a lot. They didn't ask him to. 2 out of 5 passing in the first half. Pitched the ball on first down. This is Raymond getting out to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard more, but not much going on that toss.
Boy, the sweep just wasn't there that time. It was pretty well defended by the Osseo team. You can see that number 14 there, Richard Molbug, does a good job of forcing the running back inside where the pursuit is able to catch him and drag him down for little or no gain.
Grant Tyus able to finish him off, and it's 2nd down and 10. Give on 2nd down, goes to Hall. He's got some room on the left side. First down and much more. Breaks the tackle, the 45 and into Osseo territory. Brought down at the 47 of Osseo. Gain of 22 yards. They'll mark him just shy of the 49-yard line, 48-yard line. With a good 2nd down run by Hull.
Exactly, and Hull does a great job of setting up the flank support and the flank so that the blocker on the outside is able to set the edge by running straight at the line of scrimmage and then veering sharply to the outside. Got a couple of really nice blocks there.
Biggest play from scrimmage tonight for Maple Grove on offense. A flag is down. Hull got the carry, but this may be a holding penalty against the Crimson. And it is.
Yeah, there was a pretty good grip by one of the offensive linemen on a defender there. Very well played by the defense, but I think it's pretty much a no-brainer. You take the 10-yard penalty, make it 1st and 20.
Back at the 42-yard line of Crimson now. And Haugen wanting to throw. And the ball thrown to the right and the completion to the 49-yard line. A pickup of 9 yards as he gets it to Campsela.
Campsela makes a nice grab there.
His first catch tonight.
He's doing a nice job on both sides of the ball.
2nd down and 11. They'll take that after the penalty.
Yeah.
He'll take 2nd and 11. Back into Osseo territory. Roll out left and the throw and the completion down to the 35-yard line, inside the 30 down to the 27. It's Campsela again, his 2nd straight catch. We'll look at it again at a gain of over 20 yards. Nice catch.
Yeah, and Haugen does a nice job of putting the ball right where Campsela can catch it, even if he's in a crowd. And he does a nice job afterwards of turning upfield and getting a few yards after the catch.
Gain of 21 down to the 28 of Osseo. Give is to Hull. He's inside the 20-yard line down to the 19. Evan Hull, a gain of 6, maybe 7 yards.
Hull doing a nice job of following his blockers. The offensive line doing a nice job of getting themselves into position and hooking up and making their blocks. And we've had 2 or 3 really nice runs by Hull here.
Got 11 carries on the night, unofficially 83 yards, 2nd down and 3. And it'll be a 1st down run down to the 15-yard line. Raymond gets the call here. He's got a touchdown tonight, picks up 5 yards. And a new set of downs for the Crimson offense. Tackle made by Deontay Miller along with Micah Beisner. 1st and 10, Maple Grove at the Osseo 15.
This is obviously the best possession of the night for the Maple Grove offense.
Give us to Stolp, and he gains close to 5 yards down to about the 10-yard line. Opat's on the tackle.
All 3 running backs that have carried the ball have done a really nice job. Raymond, Hull, and Stolp have all done a good job of pushing the ball forward and keeping the sticks moving.
2nd and 5 from the 10. Give is to Hull, and he's down to near the 6-yard line. A yard, maybe yard and a half shy of the 1st down. Opat's another tackle.
And I think this is what Coach Lombardi was talking about when he said play with attitude. I noticed that the offensive line, except on that first play of the series, has really done a nice job of establishing the line of scrimmage and pushing the line of scrimmage back into the Osseo secondary.
On 2nd and short, it's Stolp with the carry, and it's 1st and goal now. He got close to the goal line. He carries it nearly 5 yards. They'll mark him down at the 2. It'll be 1st and goal for Osseo there, or for Maple Grove.
And Stolp seems to be the classic fullback short yardage guy. Coach, you need 3 yards, I'll get you 4. Coach, you need 5 yards, I'll get you 4.
1st and goal from the 2 for the Crimson. Haugen up to the line. Then we get a timeout for Osseo.
Yeah, it's a good timeout for Osseo. They've done a good job. Maple Grove has not given up possession of the ball yet, so it's 7 minutes to go in the quarter, and Osseo has not touched the ball yet. It's a good timeout.
We talked about Maple Grove's line and the work they've done. One of their starters tonight, JT Awashika, remember his older brother Coyote was an outstanding player here a few years ago.
Absolutely.
He's in town, but not to watch his little brother. He's playing PJ Fleck of the Gophers tonight down at the bank, and Buffalo in town for the season opener for Minnesota and for Buffalo. Gophers last check winning that game tonight.
It's still a close game, 14-7.
14-7. So out of the timeout, Maple Grove again, 1st down and goal from the 2. And the give to Raymond, pushing into the end zone for a touchdown. 2nd score tonight for Joe Raymond. And it's 20-0 Crimson.
And there's the 3rd score that Matt Lombardi was talking about. And being able to feel that, that you're pushing your opponent into a very uncomfortable situation. That 3rd score is always a critical one.
And the extra point off the lime green shoe of Andy Peterson is up and through, and it's 21-0 now with 6:54 to play in the 3rd quarter. Great opening drive 5 minutes, 6 seconds.
Yeah, it takes
71 yards.
Takes a lot off the clock.
Yep.
You know, it puts that much. You know that, and the time factor starts to put that much more pressure onto Osseo. If they have a similar type drive and score, they're still going to be down by two scores, and there will be 1 quarter left. So that's where Matt says that, you know, they've really got to play with attitude, and that's exactly what he's talking about right there. Is that kind of a drive to put yourself into a position where you can begin to take your opponent out of their game.
Peterson will bounce this one. It'll be picked up at the 35-yard line and returned out past the 40 to the 43-yard line. So the Orioles will get pretty good field position. And if you're 55, anytime you're 55 and you get to handle the football, it's a positive thing. Wendell Smith, 6'3", 250-pound lineman, flawlessly handling the ball and returning it 7 yards.
And I'm looking at the size of the offensive line for Osseo, and they've got a really nice size advantage over Maple Grove here. However, Maple Grove's defense is very, very tough to block because they're so quick and they're so challenging.
Harrell had to get rid of it, and it's intercepted and fumbled. But I think Maple Grove got on it. It looked like it was a clean interception.
I believe
then
so,
dropped.
Yep.
And then Maple Grove gets back on it. I still haven't seen a signal. Yes, it is Maple Grove football, and the first turnover of the night.
The game. And again, we see the pressure that Greg Harrell is under, and he kind of throws it up for grabs.
Raymond had the interception. I didn't see if it was he or a teammate that got on it. The pressure came up the middle from Jake Hansen. Interception from Joe Raymond. And our first turnover, that block punt, officially not a turnover back in the first half, but this one gives Maple Grove possession at the Osseo 40-yard line.
And coming right off a score like that just a few seconds ago, this puts that much more pressure on the Osseo defense.
And then on first down, they're going to go and get a good play right off the bat, Bill, and pick up a first down. That's a 10-yard gain.
And this is where Maple Grove wants to say, hey, we're gonna take the ball and jam it at you right now, and you're gonna have to stop us. And Osseo's they're gonna have to tighten things down and step up and make some plays.
Hull gains the 10 yards, and it's first down for the Crimson down at the 30 of Osseo. Now going to hand it off. And the carry inside the 25 of the 23 is Raymond this time, and he gains about 7 before he stopped.
So here we see another really tough inside running play, well blocked by the offensive line. The offensive line starting to assert themselves, getting across the neutral zone and establishing the line of scrimmage on the Osseo side. Again, makes it very tough on the Osseo defense.
2nd and 3 from the 23. Movement on the line. I think this is going to go against the Crimson. Seventh penalty tonight for Maple Grove.
That's an untimely one right there. You got a short yardage situation, and you want to capitalize on it. Now you're pushed back, obviously 5 yards, so it's 2nd down and 8.
Hull back into the game, gets the carry. hit at the 25-yard line. That's as far as he got. With that initial surge or rush, it looked like he was going to get a lot more, but then Osseo closed it in a hurry.
The defense really straightened it up.
Closed it out.
It ended up being a gain of about 3. You can see that several Osseo players converge. Really make a nice tackle, really stand up hole there, and really don't allow him to carry his momentum forward. So it's a modest gain. 3rd and about 5 now.
Seelock with the initial hit for Osseo. 3rd and 5 from the 25. Haugen getting out of pressure. Now will throw it. On to throw his receiver a little bit. It's still caught down inside the 5, down to the 3-yard line. Catch made by Dylan Dugan. Under duress, Haugen gets it away. Looked like it could have been picked, but thrown just high enough over Seelock's head and right into the willing arms of Dylan Dugan. How about that?
Boy, and I really thought Seelock had that. When that ball was launched, I thought Seelock was going to be making the play on that. And Dugan does a really nice job of getting up and taking the ball away from Tyler Seelock. So it puts the ball down, 1st and goal. And again, another big play for Maple Grove. And Osseo has got their back to the wall here.
Give is to Stolp. Near the goal line, but doesn't quite get in. It gets 2 yards down to the 1. 2nd and goal. Down to 4 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter.
Right.
On the verge of being a 4-score game. This is Hull trying to get to the end zone. Seelock wrapped him up. Anthony Williams there as well. And a short loss in the play, and 3rd and goal.
Tyler Seelock doing a good job of getting across the line of scrimmage and getting his hands on the running back and starting to haul him down. But 3rd and goal at the 1-yard line.
And off to Stolp. He had turned away just before he was about to cross the goal line. He didn't make it.
No.
The flag comes in late, perhaps against Maple Grove, the way the Osseo players are reacting.
Yeah.
Seelock and Chike Okonkwo on the tackle on the run by Stolp. And sportsmanlike penalty against Maple Grove. So somebody said something to Osseo at the end of the play that warranted a flag.
Yeah, I think what happens is, the referee or the official coming in gets bopped in the head with the ball. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but certainly
untimely.
Certainly elicited a response from that official. So now 4th down, forcing a field goal.
So Peterson will try a field goal. Be a 33-yard attempt. Little line driver and misses it wide left. So Osseo holds. The penalty certainly helped. And they will take over at their 20-yard line with 2:57 to go in the quarter. And still a 21-0 lead. Osseo, 9 minutes gone here in this 3rd quarter. They've run just the one play, and it was an interception.
Right, and they really dodged a bullet there because they were turning the momentum into a crimson movement there, and they just really dodged the bullet with that penalty and not giving up a 4th touchdown. And now they've got to do something. Their offense has to do something now.
Well, not on that play. Hitchcock on the carry. Maple Grove's defense been pretty solid tonight, Bill. What have you seen out of that group of 11 that's impressed you?
Well, for me, and knowing Matt's defense well enough, you know, they really dial up it seems like about a million different combinations of blitzes, and they really turn their players loose and make it very tough on the offense to find a man to block. Right there.
Yeah, trying to get the ball away, does. A flag comes out. And he's trying to get the ball to Derek Hayden. We'll see what we have here, but he got almost dragged down before he threw it.
And holding on the offense. And Arell was under pressure right from the time he took the snap. We can see right here, he's pressure right up the middle.
That was good pressure by Bristol.
And they're calling holding on the receiver. The flag came into the receiver. They're calling holding on the receiver. That, as a coach, I would ask him, how was he holding as he was running his route?
Maple Grove will take the penalty.
Oh yeah.
Push Osseo back inside their 10 to the 8.
That's a penalty you don't see get called very often.
Second down now and 22 to go for Osseo. Well, quick drop and throw to the left. And that's going to be a loss on the play. Read immediately by Gil Ajiman as he's able to wrap up Elijah Whitner and had some help as well. He was the first one to get to it. And then help from Joe Raymond and friends. And a loss back to the 5-yard line, a loss of 3.
Yeah, Whitner really didn't have a chance on that. He had to stoop down to catch the ball. And as soon as he stood up, he was being hit, and he was behind the line of scrimmage when he caught the ball. That's the kind of pass that you're hoping that you get the guy right away and that he can break one tackle and get striding upfield, but it just didn't happen.
And then a third down run for Carl Calvert. Maybe gets a few yards, gets out to near the 10. You don't have many plays for 4th and 25. So
no.
Or 3rd and 25, I should say. So keep it on the ground, minimize the chance of a turnover.
Maple Grove is going to get the ball in pretty good field position here.
Maple Grove will use a timeout. Let's go back to the sideline and Allie Arlt.
Guys, we see Coach Lombardi out here on the sidelines just like it's an ordinary game, but 1 week ago today, he was on an operating table for 3 hours undergoing back surgery. Earlier this summer, while he was playing wiffle ball with a bunch of teenagers, a disc in his lower back had kind of slipped and moved towards his spine, pinching off a major nerve, giving him immense pain. But just like the tough football coach he is, he said he was back at practice the very next day after that surgery. And he says, while he's a little sore, he was given clearance to at least walk. So here he is out here acting like nothing ever even happened.
All right, thanks, Allie. Matt, you know, you can get to a certain age, you got to stop playing wiffle ball with the kids.
There you go.
I know he's a dad as well. I don't know if he's with his own kids or some of the Maple Grove players. But great to see him back on the sideline. He's done such a remarkable job of coaching in his years both here at Maple Grove and at Wayzata.
Exactly.
All right, Cheetah's back at his end zone here to punt this away. Remember, he had one blocked earlier tonight. Let's get this one away fine. It'll be taken at the 40-yard line. One broken tackle, but that's it. Great field position for Maple Grove. They'll have it at about the 38-yard line. Highbrighter lost his helmet, but he's all right. And then Crimson in good field position again, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. Even though there was very good punt coverage by Osseo, being that deep in your own zone, you're lucky to get it out to the 40. And so it was a fortuitous sequence there for Maple Grove. They've got the ball back in good field position again.
from the 38-yard line. And a good tackle in the backfield. Tom Obats comes up and makes the stop.
Either a really good read or a good blitz by Opats. He does a great job of getting in and making a good one-on-one tackle behind the line of scrimmage. And again, that's the kind of play that Osseo needs to come up with.
Holt loses 3 on the tackle for loss by Opats.
That's about his first loss of a yard.
He had a couple, but he has his biggest loss, yeah.
Yep. That's going to run the clock out.
And it'll bring us to the end of the third quarter. Maple Grove adds score in the third. They now lead at 21-0 over Osseo. More prep football, the fourth quarter coming up on CCX after this.
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know.
Come alive with the forest.
The dad was cute.
They were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Well, it's great to see the students having a good time, enjoying a little journey as you start the fourth quarter.
Both student sections.
Big pass on the first play of the fourth quarter, wide open. Campsall for the touchdown.
We got a flag on the field at the line of scrimmage. And another one down deep in the secondary. We've got 2 flags on the play.
Let's check out the pass first of all, Bill, and then we'll look at the penalties. Campsall could not have been more open. Catches the 41-yard pass from Haugen. Touchdown is good. And it's 6 more points on the board for Maple Grove.
Well, both penalties must be against Osseo because they're lining up to kick the extra point.
Personal foul. You saw the signals there, the second penalty, and sportsmanlike against Maple Grove.
So that'll be
after the play.
Yeah,
it's over. Yeah.
That's a dead ball foul, so that'll be enforced on the kickoff. But the 27th point has been scored,
right?
And even though they'll have a penalty on the kickoff, and it'll force them to kick from very deep in their own zone, Osseo should get good field position. But with 11 minutes to go in the game, 11:52, it'll be really tough for them to try to get 4 scores in that amount of time.
It looks like they're going to move them back, Bill, here on the extra point. So 41-yard pass, Haugen to Campsall.
Well, if I was Osseo coach, I think it'd be, if I was Coach Stockhouse, I think it'd be asking him, why are you enforcing it now? You enforce it on the kickoff. It's a dead ball foul.
Peterson with strong leg, and he makes it anyway.
So he gets an extra point that was actually longer distance than the field goal that he missed.
Yes. He's 4 for 4 on extra points. Look at the touchdown again, Bill.
Oh, I saw the hit by the defense and into the head, and you can see Campsall gets the flag for selling a few Wolf tickets on. Although he did get bumped at well after the play was over. And that's one of those penalties.
I don't know. That's not much for.
No,
you better get your money's worth if you're going to get unsportsmanlike conduct.
Exactly. I think that's one of those situations where the official just says, we're not going to let anything start to get out of hand here. And you don't know if that bump was intentional. You can almost call the bump an unsportsmanlike.
Well, and I can understand not wanting to let the game get out of hand either.
Exactly.
You let the kids know, hey, zip it and keep keep playing football.
Exactly.
I don't know how many people say zip it anymore, but
no, but yeah, I'm sure. But Osseo's in a huge hole now.
Well, bobbled on the return, picked back up at the 22, and a return just shy of the 30. But for Osseo, you're down in 4 scores. You just want to get something positive as you head into week 2 next week, your home opener.
Exactly. They really haven't been able to establish what their offense is going to be. They haven't really established the running game. Their passing game has been iffy. They've been really pretty good a couple of times. They've been not so good on a couple of others. It's very tough. It's been very tough. This defense has put a lot of pressure on them with the types of blitzes and where they're coming from all the time. They have 5 guys in the linebacker zone that are moving all the time. It's very tough to figure out who's going where and who to block.
We'll start on Osseo.
And you don't like to start with 1st and 15. And I can guarantee you the Maple Grove defense will keep the pressure on. They will not sit back in a base defense. They're going to be flying around, and there's another one. So all that movement by the defense, moving around, gets the offensive lineman moving. That's 2 in a row now.
First and 20 for Osseo.
I think the one thing you realize when you realize you dug yourself into the hole, quit digging. You gotta change something here to make something happen.
Right guard that time, I think it was. Oh goodness.
Well, what's your 1st and 25 play, John? This is a blank page in my playbook.
Osseo now back to its 14-yard line. Morrell will keep it and gain 3 yards.
Run a quarterback sneak. At least that way everybody got off on the ball in the right snap count. Nothing wrong with that. That's, you know, they've really gotten unsettled. They need to calm down and try to get it back together.
Just underway here in the 4th quarter. The first play of the 4th quarter, the touchdown pass for Maple Grove. Osseo trying to get on track offensively here in the 2nd half. Morrell on 2nd very long will throw it very long down the right sideline and incomplete. Chia, the intended receiver, defended by Kamsla. Chia's got definitely the size advantage there at 6'4", 225, but there wasn't room on that sideline to catch that ball.
No, it really wasn't. And Kamsla has done a really good job tonight of using his body to keep the receiver wide. He's done that 2 or 3 times to Chia, and that makes it very, very tough on the receiver to catch the ball.
Good handoff up the middle and a nice run for Reggie Dupree. His best carry tonight, brings it out to the 28-yard line, a gain of 11. So they had a lot more to go than that, but Dupree with a good run gets them at least a
nice lead play.
Better field position.
Yeah, Reggie Dupree does a good job of following his fullback, gets a really nice hole by the offensive line, but 3rd and a lot. You get a few on 3rd and a lot. It doesn't really matter. We're 4th and 12. Osseo is going to be punting the ball again. It'll be Chia back there to punt.
Fourth punt of the night. A line drive will be fair caught back at the 40. 33-yard kick. And a fair catch by Arbeiter. Nothing Crimson with just over 10 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Very efficient, very good second half of football for Maple Grove offensively compared to first half. They capitalized on a couple of short fields to score early, but didn't do much the rest of that second quarter. But they come out here with that attitude that Coach Lombardi was talking about and execution, and it's resulted in a couple of more scores, and there's a good first down run for Evan Hull and picks up 10.
And that's a good example right there. You can see that Hull just breaks tackles. He does a good job of setting himself up by getting inside, letting his blockers make contact, and then getting outside around the edge and forcing the play. And that's the kind of play that we've seen much more from the Crimson here in this half than we did in the first half.
Hull over 100 yards now rushing. He's got more here inside the 40 and dragged down at the 36 by Seelock. Gain of 13. So Hull on back-to-back plays with gains of 11 and 13 yards. He's up to 120 yards now on 18 carries. And another first down.
Does a good job. He uses his shoulders well, makes people miss him, and that again, well executed, well blocked by the offensive line, and nice run by Hull.
First and 10. And a loss back to, well, I guess no gain to the line of scrimmage. Travis Freeze with his first carry tonight, junior running back.
This is one of the things that Maple Grove does pretty regularly, is that once they've established themselves offensively and they've gotten to the point where they think they're in control, they'll put their second team running backs in with their first team offensive line and give them some good experience.
Tanner Scanson gets his first carry tonight. He's inside the 35 to the 33-yard line, picks up about 3. They'll bring up third down and 7 for the Crimson. Inside of 9 minutes to go.
And I doubt we'll see the ball in the air much, if at all, from Maple Grove the rest of the game.
Haugen up under center on third down and 7. And then Haugen throws, makes a liar out of Bill, and there's like a big completion down to the 10-yard line. And nice strike there by Haugen on the throw, and gets the completion to Ben Schroeder.
Great release by the tight end Schroeder to get up into the in the seam and past the linebacker zone. Puts great pressure on the defense. And I'm going to yell at Haugen for making me look like an idiot.
Well, Schroeder's second catch now for 31 yards. And a timeout. No, not a timeout. No. As officials were saying first and goal, not first and 10. They were marking it as a first and 10, but just inside the 10-yard line. Now another whistle, and we get a timeout for Maple Grove. And perhaps some substitutions for Coach Lombardi. Gets some other guys in. He takes out more of his first stringers, and they've brought it here in the second half to give them the big lead. Prior Lake next Friday night. That'll be a tough test. Minnetonka and Burnsville on the road. And the weeks following that, Prior Lake, an excellent team. We saw the rankings earlier, both top 10 teams, and Minnetonka ranked preseason top 10 as well.
So it doesn't get easier.
They like the tough schedule. Yep. They've talked about that for years. We want to play the best, as many strong teams as we can. White Bear Lake is up next. I mentioned that Hall of Fame night next Friday at Carlton Field. Then it's Blaine for the Orioles in a couple of weeks, and at Champlin Park, another game you'll be able to see on CCX on September 22nd.
Yeah, that's going to be a good game too. That Osseo Champlin Park game. It'll be interesting to see what, as you said earlier, John, what Champlin Park has put together here.
First down and goal just inside the 10-yard line now for.
And the offense is saying we got to have 11 guys, coach. Send the linemen out here. We made some changes. We got to have 11 guys. New quarterback.
Nate Elms, just a freshman, is in at quarterback. Hand off on first down and a short run for Travis Freeze. And he got it, half a yard. And ninth grader gets some varsity action. First game of the season. That's not bad.
Not bad.
New offensive line in as well. Give to Freeze again. Hit in the backfield and drop for a loss. Tackle made by Anthony Williams along with Nelson Lynch. A loss of 4.
And I think Elms is probably looking to be the heir apparent to quarterback next year. So early in the season, Coach Lombardi and the staff want to get him as many good reps as they can. And this is a great time to do it. Give him a chance to take the team in and score.
Third and goal. Ball back to the 14-yard line. We're under 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, you got the down. You only need the down box out because it's third and goal. There's no.
Hams on the center. Long count here on third down. And goal from the 14. And off again to Freeze. Gains a couple of yards to the 12. Opats on the tackle along with Elton Don. They marked him back at the 15. He lost a little yardage rather than the game.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, so they can be fourth and goal from the 15 or 16-yard line here.
A rollout. Helms will throw and incomplete. Intended receiver was Jared Rainey. Johnson Falla on the coverage, and it's a turnover on downs, and Osseo get it back.
So at 5:58 to go in the game, Osseo is going to get the ball about their own 16-yard line.
I think in a tighter game, Maple Grove maybe would complain there was a little contact at the end of that, but I think rightfully no flag thrown in this situation, and perhaps not a penalty anyway. But
as long as the D-back is going for the football, he's got a right to go where the ball is, but a little premature contact on that.
Osseo take over just inside their 16-yard line with under 6 minutes to play in this football game. Harrell will remain in at quarterback. He'll hand off on first down to Dupree, who's hit just past the line of scrimmage by Ross Kruger and brought down, but not until he had gained 5 yards out to the 21.
He'll have pretty much an all-new defensive unit in here as well, but they'll be running the same kind of schemes and plays that the first team defense ran.
Ball is dropped and picked back up, and Hitchcock still manages to get about a yard out of it. Harrell dropped it.
Yep.
Hitchcock trailing the play, able to pick it up and gain a yard. 3rd and 4. Hitchcock was right there, though. They didn't miss a beat.
He's just saying, if you can't hand it to me, I'll pick it up.
And Hitchcock will gain a first down here and carry the football out to the 29-yard line for Osseo.
Yeah, at this point in the game, I think Osseo really needs to establish what their offense is going to be. If it's going to be the running game, run the darn ball down the field and get a score. Yeah, you're not going to win the game with that attitude, but it's going to be very hard to score 4 times in 5 minutes. So set yourself up for next week and get some solid, positive plays behind you here.
Hitchcock will get the ball again. That was the first down of the second half for Osseo.
Yeah.
Gain of 4, maybe 5 yards here. Kruger, it's another tackle. Harrell will roll on right. A little soft toss to Dupree, makes the catch. Trying to dive for those first down sticks on the Osseo sideline. He'll come up a yard short, maybe 2.
Boy, it looked like he was closer to the line to gain than that. All the way across the field, it's hard to see where he actually went out of bounds, but he was certainly surging forward when he went out.
Harrell will hand off, and Dupree has the first down out across the 40-yard line to the 43.
And Dupree does a good job of getting in behind his offensive lineman and getting the yardage needed.
First and 10, Osseo. Ball at their 42-yard line. Harrell, a handoff. No, keeps the ball. Comes out to the right and goes out of bounds at the 47, 48-yard line. They'll mark him. Gain of 6 for Harrell. Take the handoff. His keeper is his 3rd rush of the night.
Pretty nice run there. Very nicely executed fake. Drew 3 or 4 defenders to the running back and gave Harrell a pretty good place to run the ball.
Harrell, short drop. Will throw down the right sideline, and the catch is made, and leaning for the end zone. It's marked down just outside at the 1-yard line, and the catch by Whitner. Almost had a touchdown. He's marked down inside the 1. Look at the nice throw by Harrell. Whitner got past the D. Didn't quite get in. Oh, that's close.
Boy, that's as close as it can get without being a touchdown. Whitner made a nice move, got upfield, made a really good catch and lunge for the goal line. That's really the most successful passing play that Osseo has had tonight.
51 yards on the completion. Harrell to Whitner. First down and goal inside the 1. Harrell give off to Dupree. And it's a touchdown for Osseo. And the Orioles on the board here with 2:41 to play in the 4th quarter.
Well, that was really a nice drive. And I realize that it's against the 2nd unit defense and all of that stuff, but they did what they were supposed to do. They executed well, they ran the ball well, and they threw the ball well. And that's the kind of thing that the coaching staff is going to be looking for. You know, did we execute? You know, did we keep our poise? Did we do the things we needed to do? And they actually did that in that drive.
Missed a Tablas with the extra point up and good. And it's 28-7. Look at that long pass again, Bill. It set up the touchdown.
And you can see that Harrell does a nice job and puts it right on Whitmer where he's in stride. And we can see Dupree getting in from the 1-yard line. You know, as a coaching staff, that's the kind of thing you're looking for. Yeah, we were down by 4 scores. You know, things were not going our way. We made too many mistakes, and yet we came back and had a nice drive for a touchdown. It wasn't a fluky thing. It was a nice drive for a touchdown. That's the kind of thing you got to build on for next week.
Now you get back into your school routine, Bill. It's classes start Tuesday for students in this district. It's football a week from tomorrow night, and one more day in between the normal. Thursday night here, and then seem to be playing Fridays for the next 6 weeks, and then Wednesday game to end the regular season in mid-October, and it'll be here before you know it.
Before you know it, yeah. That's what's amazing, is that once it starts, it seems like it accelerates every week.
And the whistle's on the kick.
Offside.
Fifth penalty here in the second half for Osseo. Osseo kickoff from his 35-yard line. Maple Grove with 10 players within 15 yards of the football. Comes back to the only deep back, and Campsilla goes down at his 30-yard line. So presumably one final possession here tonight for Maple Grove.
Osseo can stop the clock twice. So one would think that
if
given
they
that
choose
was
to,
going to be
but
this is probably going to be the last possession here.
Helms, the rest of that back, Maple Grove offense back on the field. Broken tackle at the line of scrimmage, and a run out past the 35 to the 37. The best run so far for Travis Freeze, who made a nice play right at the line of scrimmage. Look at the broken tackle there.
Nice move in the
and then
backfield.
makes a good move. And then back out to his left and
we see
gain 7 yards.
And we see Osseo's second unit come in on defense now, so they're getting some valuable game experience here in the opening game of the season.
Give us to Freeze again, right side, got a first down in to the 50-yard line.
Very nice run there by Travis Freeze, getting the ball up.
Tackle by Keegan Cunningham, with a good run right here by Freeze.
Yeah. You see a lot of white jerseys chasing you, run fast.
Gain of 13. 10th first down here in the second half for Maple Grove. They had just 4 in the first half. Ball right at midfield with 1.5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Freeze will get the carry again. And spun down after a gain of 3-yard lines. Abraham Kamara on the tackle. Second down from the 47. I have to snap it one more time after this. Freeze hit in the backfield here and dropped for a loss.
Both defensive.
Tackle for Moses Adeja along with Tony Jackson.
Two defensive ends said, let's go around the corner here and I'll meet you at the running back. And that'll do it.
And a season opening win for Maple Grove. It started last year with the win over the Orioles, and they do it again here on their home field, 28-7. Took advantage early, Bill, of good field position.
Exactly.
And a blocked punt, put them up 14-0. And then really kind of that first drive of the third quarter came out, drove the ball down the field and scored. And really at that point it kind of put the game away. And that was an impressive opening drive. Their defense was solid all night. And they get the win going away.
Exactly, as you'd expect. And again, that was the kind of thing that Matt Lombardi talked about at halftime with Allie, that, hey, we need to do things with attitude, and they really came out and put their attitude, put themselves on the line, took the ball down the field, took the controlling score, and it really was, they didn't look back after that. And that's a real testament to the preparation of the Maple Grove team, that they're ready to go like that and have what they might consider a subpar first half, and put it together right there in one drive in the third quarter.
They mentioned we get prep football coming up tomorrow night, Friday night on CCX. Jay Wilcox, Bill Hunsdock, and Allie Arlt will be at Columbia Heights High School as Breck takes on Columbia Heights. You see these Crimson players coming over and chatting with some of their classmates. And always fun to win that first game and to do it at home. It's all the better.
It's always fun to get over there and jump up and down and sing the fight song in front of the school, and everybody likes that.
We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back. Our post game coming up from Maple Grove. The Crimson win it over the Orioles, 28-7 our final. We'll wrap things up on CCX after this timeout.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Doesn't see race. Love is love.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood, or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Well, Crimson out having their post-game meeting on the field, a victory meeting tonight, 28-7 their win over the Osseo Orioles. Start the season 1-0. Maple Grove getting good defensive performance tonight. They get a couple of rushing touchdowns from Joe Raymond, touchdown pass from Curtis Haugen. Evan Hull really did a nice job running the ball. Bill had 120 yards on 18 carries, didn't get a touchdown. Justin Stolp had the other score for Maple Grove. So Hull, though, did a lot of the work on offense, and the line was pretty solid up front, too, especially there in the second half after they had 77 rushing or total yards in the first half, but they really poured it on there in the second half and really more than doubled that.
Exactly. And, their defense, I think their defense was well prepared coming in, and they really put a lot of pressure on the Osseo offense, particularly on the offensive line, and kept them confused and off balance the entire night. And that's very challenging. The opening game to come out and play against a defense that's flying around like that with that many different kinds of blitzes and ways to rush into the line of scrimmage. When you got 8 different guys moving all the time, it's very, very challenging for that offensive line.
Osseo next week, again, the home game against White Bear Lake. Maple Grove will be home here against Prior Lake next Friday night.
I think that's going to be a good game for Maple Grove with, another top 10 team.
Al has a couple of winning Crimson players with her down on the field. Let's go down to her now.
Yeah, guys, couple happy guys indeed. We've got Joe Raymond and Curtis Haugen with us. We're going to start over here with Joe. Joe, at this time about last year, in a preseason scrimmage game, you broke your leg, and now you're here having an outstanding first game of the season. How does it feel to be out here?
It's great. It's truly amazing. Last year was really hard for me, as anybody could expect, but I never forgot what happened. Every single day, I work towards next year. This is what I got to right now, and I never forgot where I came from. And every single day, I use that for Feel Me. And then right before coming out here, I just thought about everything I'd been through after the injury and everything I'd gone through, and that's really what motivated me to be out here today, and it was exciting.
This is also your first time at the running back position. You've got 2 rushing touchdowns tonight. How has that adjustment been to the new position for you?
A few years ago, I used to play running back. Last year, obviously, I didn't play. I'm just trying to make it feel natural again. Honestly, I feel like I robbed Evan Hull of 2 touchdowns. He got all the yards. I probably had like 15 yards rushing, and I'm going to get all the glory, but he really did most of the work today.
After that second rushing touchdown, you go up for an interception. You pull that one down. Walk us through that play.
Well, guard came out to block me, and I knew that was a screen play, and I come over. I'm ready to hit the running back. All of a sudden, I see the ball just flying around in the air, and I just caught it, and then I'm thinking pick 6, and all of a sudden I got hit by my own defensive tackle, and I dropped the ball, but at least we got the turnover. That's what matters.
Brad Davison says that you are going to be that man on this team this year. What do you think about that?
That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm working for. If I can lead these guys, that's what I want to do, and that's what I feel like I can do.
Congrats on a great game. We're going to turn it over now to Curtis. Curtis, getting some congratulations. You had some pretty big shoes to fill at the quarterback position. I think you filled them pretty well tonight. What do you think?
It's always hard to fill Brad Davison's shoes, obviously being the quarterback last year, but I thought we just worked towards stepping into the quarterback spot after being free safety last year. So just getting back into the rhythm of that. The coaches really helped me a ton, Spurl, Lombo, and Coach Baz, of course. That was the quarterback coach. So
A great offensive night for you guys. Walk us through that 41-yard touchdown 41-yard pass to Kamsula.
Well, Lombo, we had realized safeties are just playing cover 3, and their corners were really soft, and they're inside, or they're shadowed inside. So we knew that if we bite them, we get them with play action, we could beat them deep. So.
And how about that defense pitching a near shutout in the first game of the season?
It's awesome. We always rely on the defense heavily, and for them to come through like that, it's awesome.
What do you think the gameplay like tonight says about your team to kick off the season?
I think it shows we're a team to be, we're not a team to be messed with, and we're always going to bring it every game 100%.
We look forward to seeing it. Thanks so much. Guys?
All right, thanks very much, Allie, and Joe Raymond, Curtis Haugen, and Joe. I like Joe. He's like, well, I haven't halted all the work. I get the glory because I got the scores. But, and that's kind of what Maple Grove's theme is this year. It's a team game, 22 guys, and plus guys off the bench contributing. That's what's going to be a winning combination, the winning formula for them this season.
Absolutely. And they've got a good opportunity to put some things together. They're going to get a real test next week, but they'll get Prior Lake here at home, so that'll be a little bit of a plus for them.
Coming up, a reminder again on Friday night, Breck Columbia Heights next Friday, Park Center, and will play at home, their home opener against Richfield. Watch for those games coming up on CCX. We'll see Maple Grove and Osseo as well later in the season on our TV schedule. And that'll do it for tonight's coverage. For Allie Arl, Bill Hunstock, and all of our outstanding crew, I'm John Jacobson. Our final score again tonight, season opening win for Maple Grove. They defeat Osseo 28-7, our final.